the sweat that's all behind me. Won't too strong, I don't go down easy. Living for grace, the best I can. I'm a Jesus girl.
Jesus girl.
All the way.
I'm a Jesus girl.
You changed my heart.
I'm a Jesus girl.
Ooh, fall forward, up and over. If I go, it's only higher. No matter where I stand, it's always on the Lord's side.
Hello. It is Wednesday, so y'all know what time it is. It is time for the Wednesday's Word for Women show. I am so mucho grande excited today. I hope thus far your day has been flipping along fantabulously. Your week, matter of fact, has been rocking the entire planet. I pray that you showed up today as the highest version of yourself that you are at this time, and that you are not letting nobody kill your vibe or steal your joy, because what, guys? We know that our attitude, reactions, and responses is ours. We get to dictate to that. So nobody gets to tell us we have to have a bad day, no matter what they say or do. We know that how we respond to that is how we are going to dictate what our day is going to look like. We're going to take the power of the day back where it belongs, which is in our hands. And we are grateful people. We know we flip through the Rolodexes of our mind, grabbing those things to be grateful and thankful for. And that also is the best pick me up, the best attitude adjuster. Something about when you think of things you're thankful for, it kind of puts those things that you're not into proper perspective. So, okay, when I was a youth, all the way up until like 12, 13, your girl was fast. See, y'all don't know that about me. Y'all thought y'all knew me, but y'all don't. I was fast. I was actually a runner, and I wasn't just a runner. I was a hurdler. Well, it was all fine and dandy for me to hurdle. I was in Pittsburgh, Kansas, to hurdle on their tracks in their space. But when I got to the actual high school, mind you, I was a middle school. When I got to the actual high school to compete, because yeah, your girl was that good, to compete at a higher level, even though I was in middle school, when my best friend Lois took off and did her first hurdle, and it didn't hurdle, she didn't make it over, that effectively ended my track career, which is kind of sad because I'm still, you put some respect on my name. I can still run. Yeah, I can still run. But anyway, imagine what would have happened if I would have just known that life is like the hurdle, like you are going to sometimes have things happen in this season, in that particular activity, but it's okay. It was what was required at that time for me to become the person and do the thing that I wanted to do. And so I thought of that this week, because I look at runners and I still love the runner's face. And I tell people that in my mind, I'm a runner. Like deep down, that's my identity. I am a runner. It's one of my identities. But of course I don't do it. And you have to train to do all that and what have you. But I thought about it. That's how life is. If you think about running, the different types of running, I think we can get it clear in our mind that the rules of engagement to life is like the running athlete. I think that the problem is not that what we're doing. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that we are frustrated and we give up and we get confused because we are unsure what's required of us at that time. Does that make sense? Like we're doing the thing. I'm a firm believer that we have what we need to do whatever we need to do. I truly believe that seriously, but I also know that if it is not clear what and who you were supposed to be at that particular time, if you can't balance and navigate through some things, then that's when we mess up, we burn out, we implode, we get this kind of schizophrenic movement going on, jumping from this thing to that thing. We can't stay the course because we weren't sure what was going to be required to do that thing. Have you ever asked the question, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to do. See, that's not the big thing. That's life. It's managing that question. And once you manage that question and know what's required of you to answer that question, whatever that it is, that's how we will start getting the results that we are trying to get. That's how we will start winning at this thing called life. I mean, I know some amazing, y'all is amazing. I know some phenomenal, amazing people. And it's heartbreaking to hear, the person that's stuck, or the person that can't go on, or the person that is just so racked by insecurities because they think they're doing the wrong thing, or the person that is just bogged down and just so frustrated and flustered, exhausted, burnt out. People that I love and people are crashing. And so I think it's imperative that we talk about this, because balance, it's balance of life is not we're doing everything at the same time. Balance is we're doing what needs to be done at the right particular time. The balance is the priority. Am I prioritizing the thing that needs to be prioritized right now? And the runner, the athlete, can show us keys of how we can navigate that. There are what I'm going to touch on today just for running races that I think we can get some keys, some principles, or at least some thoughts and ideas to what we can do or what we should be looking like in our own lives and what we're going through to get the results that we want. So there is relay races, and that's navigating a relay race is basically what balance is. There's 4 parts to a relay race we'll get into. The sprint, sometimes that's that power runner that's running at full speed, full exertion over a short period of time. Then there's hurdles, that's jumping over an obstacle at high speed in the sprint. And then there is the marathon, and that's the long distance. That's where the endurance must be had and built up in you, because you got to keep going. And so navigating life is like that in different areas and in different things in your life, in different places where you at, depending on what the thing is that you want to do. You are going to have to learn how to seamlessly navigate through this. You're going to have to be okay with saying, hey, I got to pump my brakes, I got to stop. I'm trying to run a sprint, but this thing requires a longevity, a marathon. I'm trying to engage with something, but this thing's requiring me to jump over that thing. I don't even need to entertain that. I just need to get over it and get gone. Or the relay, I need all the 4 components of that relay because I can't do this on my own. And spoiler alert, y'all, we are always going to be in the midst of a relay race. You cannot do this thing called life alone. If you want to do it well, if you want to be fulfilled, if you want to have passion, if you want to have the wins to help you with the losses, so then you can get back to the wins, because y'all know we always win. It's either a loss or it's not a loss, it's a lesson. And so those are the things we have to get in our minds, and then we will be able to navigate. We will know what's required of us. And something about knowing takes some of the anxiety, some of the fear, some of the depression when things are required of us that it seems like it's too much for us to give. And so let's start with the relay. The relay race, I love looking at the relay races. The relay race has four people generally. They have four people on it connected in this race. But here's the thing, this is what I want y'all to hear. I wrote this down. The sequence of the relay race, listen to this, y'all, is usually set as such as the second fastest starts first, followed by the third fastest, then the slowest runs, and the fourth, the anchor of that thing, and that's what they're known is the fastest of the team. So here's the thing, in life, y'all, sometimes we are going to be one of those four, and so we're going to need the other three to help us run the race well. If I'm strong and I'm the anchor, and in that time that's what I'm supposed to be about that thing, then I need the third slowest in front of me. I need the second fastest. I need the third fast. You see what I'm saying? I need the people before me, and that actually gives me the lead off as the anchor. It gives me the energy to be the fastest, to do the last leg, to anchor the team. But I can't anchor the whole team by myself. It's funny how they said that the slowest and the third fastest is the one right before the fastest. It seems like that don't make no sense, but actually think about that. The second fastest has started. Sometimes you're going to be out here killing it and getting it, but you're not going to be at full throttle. And sometimes you're going to be the third fastest, the slowest in this thing, and that's okay, because you got an anchor behind you, and you will be able to make up the slack that you perceive that you're being slow in. You're going to have the help that you need. And so that's why life is always going to be about the relay race. And then the baton. You cannot forget about the baton in the marathon. The baton. You got to know when it's time to pass it. I got to know that, okay, in this, I need to pass it to the anchor, or I need to start with it, run off, but I know I'm not going to keep it. I got to pass it on to Sally Sue or Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then Tom, Dick, and Harry have to pass it on to Sally Sue. I got to have that team. I got to have room and margin to be able to navigate through all four in life. That's why you have to have people. And then there's sometimes we got to be sprinters, y'all. We got to run at this thing at top speed, but you're only supposed to do that for short distances. The burnout is coming is because we have made a lifestyle of being a sprinter, and a sprinter was supposed to be for just a limited period of time. Sometimes in life you are going to have to get it. You are going to have to just go hard after the thing. That's okay, but you have to know there has to be a time limit. There has to be an ending, because exhaustion, burnout, and crash is sure to come. Remember, you're in a marathon. If you are that, just know you can hand off the baton. You should be looking for a way to hand off the baton. We are not supposed to be running at a sprint for our life 24/7. It's dangerous. It's causing us all kind of issues, and you cannot think clearly because it's only meant to be for a short time. And then you add, sometimes in life, when life gets hard and it sucks and bumps in the road, tragedies happen, pain, rejection, those unexpected things, then you have to be able to, as you go in full throttle, hurdle. People's lives get destructed and destroyed because they weren't able to jump over the obstacle. They fail. In hurdling, the point is not just to jump over the obstacle, it's to land on your feet, and we're tripping up. When I saw Lois falling and tripping, that's the part I was like, I am not for that. So hurdling obviously is not for me, because I am not going to be out here falling. But boo-boo, the fall helps you to then learn how to next time hurdle it and land on your feet. So you're going to have to be able to do that thing, fall and be able to get back up and get able and run and do the thing, keep doing the thing at full speed. But that's supposed to be only for a limited time. Now, if in your life you just keep getting, hit after hit after hit after hit, tragedy after tragedy, loss after loss, setback after setback, you're in a hurdle and a sprint. But remember, the relay, look for the people to hand off the baton. Look for the people that can help minimize, help take the hit, help you navigate the course of your life. Look for that. And then finally, the marathon is the long distance. This is what in all three you must know. We are not getting results we want because we are not running the marathon. The marathon is the endurance. The marathon is you just keep going no matter what. The hurdle, the sprint, the relays train you for the marathon. Your life, boo-boo, is a marathon. You, in order to win, in order to do the thing, you have to know, set in your mind, I am in a marathon. This is the part you're going to have to depend on yourself. And this is the part where you're going to have to depend on your grit, but that's going to leave. You're going to have to depend on your passion, but that's going to wane. You're going to have to depend on the people in the relay to help you, but they're going to not always be there. This is the part where you're going to have to depend on you and be so cool with you, be so secure in you that you realize that no matter how long it takes, no matter what I got to do, I'm going to see this thing through. I'm going to make this work. There are things in your life that you need to know is a marathon. It can take years, but that's okay. What does that matter? Long as you win and finish well. The key should be that I want to finish the race, not how I got to run the race. Set in your mind, I'm going to finish the race, and I will learn how to navigate, whether it's a relay, whether it's a sprint, whether it's hurdling or the marathon. I'm going to learn to navigate because that's what's going to teach me what is required of me, and then I can train for what's required of me for that particular time. That's the balance in life we need. Not that we're doing all the things well, but that we know what's required of us at that specific time to do that specific thing. I don't know what your race is. I don't know what the thing is. But I do know this. If you learn to navigate and to reach into yourself and really have that come to Jesus moment and say, hey, first, is this something that I should be doing? Is this something that I need to be doing? Is this something that, though it may be hard and cause a lot of angst and heartache and friction, is this something that at the end of the day, if I died tomorrow, I would be glad that I exerted that time and energy and passion into? First, get that straight. If it is not, then maybe you need to prioritize what you're involved in and what you're doing, because we're doing a lot of stuff, but we ain't supposed to be doing, a lot of the stuff that we're doing. If you make sure it's a thing you're supposed to be doing, you will be more willing to give whatever it is that you have to give of yourself to do the thing. And secondly, realize we are all out here in a race. It's funny, in the relay race, the team is in the same lane, but they're in different positions in the lane. So to pass the baton well, the person behind me is in my lane, but they're opposite of me, so I can exchange seamlessly. So don't trip about the lane, just trip about, are you in the proper position in the lane that you are in? Is that your lane? If not, ain't nothing to switch, swerve, skirt, and get in the right lane. So please, y'all, see, am I in what's the relay of your life? What's life? What's the sprint of your life? What's the hurdles? What's the marathon? Put that, think about that. Mull that over. Start asking yourself questions. You don't know what to do, but if you start with, is this requiring me to do a hard sprint, or is this requiring me to just stay the course? I just got to ride it out. Is this requiring me to jump over obstacles or deal with that obstacle? Is a relay that I need to depend on one of my teammates? So please, y'all, I promise you, if you do this, it ain't gonna make everything all easier, but it will make it worth doing. And the hard part, though hard, will still be fulfilling. you'll still have purpose and passion for it. And you won't be burnt out, exhausted, imploding, depressed, anxiety ridden, wondering what's going on. So I love you guys so much. It's now time for Ask Pastor Pay. Remember, you can DM me, text me, put it in the comments, tweet me, IG me, send me an email, whatever, and you will be a guest on the show. I love you guys. Your biggest fan. I hope you decide today, right now, I'm going to run and finish my race well. Now I just got to figure out which athlete I got to be at which time. Love you guys.
I gave everything and it still wasn't enough. Why'd I get rejected?
What a great question. And I know we've all been there. And so, how do you recover from rejection? The question is, what's wrong with me? Why did they reject me? When I gave everything, I gave them everything and it wasn't enough. What do you do when you give everything and it's not enough, and in the end you get rejected? First, let's look at rejection. So rejection means the dismissing of a proposal or idea, like you got dismissed, the spurning of your affection. They don't want what you have to offer. But see, here's the thing that I think, and rejection is serious, y'all. Rejection increases our anger and anxiety and depression. Rejection affects our mind. It affects our performance to intellectually function. We can't do a task. Rejection is no small thing. It increases our anger, our jealousy, our sadness. It really does do a thing. Rejection is not easy. But what I want to say is, you need to know that it is not you. The very definition of rejection is that they don't want what you have to offer. They're spurning, they're dismissing what you have to offer. It ain't got nothing to do with what you're offering. It's not saying that something is wrong with you. It's just saying that what you offer to them, they did not want to take. Think about that. Everybody got choices, and because you didn't want what I had to offer doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. I wanted to give you the gift and you didn't want it. That don't mean nothing is wrong with the gift. That just means that the gift is not something that you want, but the gift is still a gift. So many people so many people have the rejection, myself included. It has racked the very core of how you see yourself. We are allowing that person, that thing, them, or whatever didn't happen to dictate how I feel about you. That's why you got to know yourself. That's why you got to be, you have to fall in love with you. That's why you got to know that you are, may not be for that person or that thing, but that doesn't mean you don't have any value. That just means that I wasn't supposed to be with you, or I wasn't supposed to, do that. And that's okay, because we tend to focus on the person or the thing that has rejected us. We get caught up in the rejection and trying to get it back. Have you ever did that, y'all? Try to get it back, try to make yourself seem worthy or valuable, like you gonna love me. Let me show you why you need to love me. You get to doing more, you get to spending more, you get to trying to buy love, you get to putting up with mess you would never put up with, because you say to yourself, if I can just get them to accept me, then I'll be okay. Well, honey, boo-boo, bye. No, that is not correct. The more you are trying to connect with something that does not want you or that has rejected you, the more time you are blocking that which is for you. You are not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I'm not supposed to be, and you're not supposed to be. And if it is deemed, even if you done gave your all to a thing, gave your everything, you did all you knew to do, and at the end of the day, they act like you and did nothing and turn tail and walk away, that's good because somebody is just waiting for what you have to offer. They've been praying for you, boo-boo. They've been praying like, Lord, would you please just send somebody that does this, that, or the other, that looks like this, that, or the other. You are the answer to a prayer. And because you're not the answer to their prayer, don't mean that you're not the answer. So I want us all to stop letting rejection kill how we feel about us, and let it be a direction to somewhere or someone else that will more value you. Everybody don't know your value, and some people actually can't afford you. So why waste time with that? How about we focus on that which is for us? I hope that just gave you a little nugget to answer the question. Love you guys. Be blessed.
Girl,